Welcome dear students. After completion of the unit number 1 heat conduction, we are moving towards the unit number 4, and that is a heat exchanger. So first we discuss the definition of heat exchanger, and in today's lecture we are only discussing about the classification of heat exchanger. As per our syllabus, we also need to do the analysis of heat exchanger by two different methods, that is the LMTD and effectiveness NTU method, but we discuss this point in later on the lectures. So today we discuss the classification and basics of heat exchanger. So we start with the definition. So the definition of heat exchanger may be defined as an equipment which transfers the energy from hot fluid to cold fluid with maximum rate and with minimum investment and running cost. Let me discuss the various examples of heat exchanger. That intercooler, which is used to cool down the air in between the stages of the compressor, that is one kind of heat exchanger. Condenser, widely used in various thermal applications. Then famous example that you have already studied in basics of mechanical engineering, boiler, oil coolers, milk chillers are various examples of heat exchanger. Automobile radiator. Now we are moving towards the next topic, that is a classification of heat exchanger. Heat exchanger can be classified on the various criteria. So let me discuss. In order to meet widely varying applications, several types of heat exchanger have been developed, which are classified based on the following criteria. So in various applications, we need various types of heat exchangers with various constraints for the given application. We have developed the lots of types of heat exchanger, so we can classify the heat exchanger based on the some of the criteria. So first criteria is the nature of heat exchange process. Then second is relative directions of fluid motions. As we discussed that there are two types of fluids are there. One is hot fluid and another is cold fluid. So based on the directions of motion, we can classify the heat exchanger. Then third criteria is design and constructional features. Means based on the design as well as how it is constructed. So on that criteria we can classify our heat exchanger. Then last is the physical state of fluids. It means it is moving in same phases, or it may be changed the state of phase. Means during the heat exchange process it is converted from liquid to gas, or it remains in liquid form, or it remains in a gas form. So basis on that we can also classify the heat exchanger according to our criteria 4. So we are going in first point, that is nature of heat exchange process. So based on the heat exchange process, the heat exchanger can be classified into two categories. One is direct contact type of, or we can say that it is open heat exchanger, and second is indirect contact type of heat exchanger. So at name itself suggests that direct contact type of heat exchanger means the fluid, hot fluid and cold fluid comes in direct contact with each other. And indirect contact type of heat exchanger, the fluid, hot fluid and cold fluids cannot become directly in contact, and it is separated with the help of some media. So indirect contact type of heat exchanger is further classified into two categories. One is regenerator and second is recuperators. So we discuss the first type of heat exchanger under the category of direct contact type of heat exchanger. In direct contact type of heat exchanger, the exchange of heat takes place by direct mixings of hot fluid and cold fluid, and the heat transfer is take place. So here we have one example that steam is coming from the bottom directions and the non-condensable gases are moving from top. Similarly, the other fluid, that is cold water, which comes over here, which absorbs the heat from the steam, and steam is converted into the non-condensable gases, and the hot water which comes out from this another end. So this is the phenomena happens in direct contact type of heat exchanger. Another example which is given over here, that is a cooling tower. As all of you know that in cooling tower the air and water is directly mixed and the heat is exchanged between them. And second example given over here is jet condenser. Now we discuss the indirect contact type of heat exchanger. Indirect contact type of heat exchanger, the hot fluid and cold fluid are separated through some wall or any other mediums. So that is classified into two categories. One is regenerator, another one is recuperators. In the regenerator type of heat exchanger, the hot and cold fluid passes alternatively through the space containing some solid particles. Some solid particle is known as matrix. Example like IC engine and the gas turbine. In recuperators are the most important types of heat exchanger in which the fluid exchange the heat are on either side of dividing wall. It means it is not changing the side, or it cannot be having any rotating elements compared to regenerators. The example is automobile radiators and oil coolers. Now let we discuss both the types of heat exchanger with using some standard diagrams. So the layout of indirect contact type of heat exchanger, regenerator. So as you can see this here, this disc, that is a solid disc which is also known as a matrix, which is rotated at certain RPM. The hot fluids are coming from the bottom directions and the cold fluids are coming in the top directions, and this circular disc is rotated. So it comes one time as a hot disc which comes over here and it gets cool, then again it is going over here, that absorb the heat and release the heat on the upper directions. So this is a phenomena or the arrangement given in the regenerator type of heat exchanger. Now we discuss recuperators. So in recuperators, the fluid cannot be moved and it is at stationary. So in this arrangement, this is a fixed wall, both the types of air exchanging the heat by moving only the single side of wall, and there is no rotating elements. So this kind of heat exchanger is called as a recuperators. Now we are moving towards second criteria for the classifications of heat exchanger based on the relative directions of fluid motion. So on this criteria, we can classify the heat exchanger into the two categories. One is parallel flow or unidirectional, or we can say it is indirectional flow. Second is counter flow, and third is cross flow. So based on this criteria, we can classify the heat exchanger into three different groups. One is parallel flow, counter flow, and cross flow. So in parallel flow, as name itself suggests that parallel, so both the fluids, it means hot and cold fluids, are moving or travel in the same directions. The direction of motion for hot fluid and cold fluid are same, as we can see in this diagram, that hot fluids which is moving and it is indicated by the red arrow, and the cold fluids moving in the same directions, it is indicated by the black arrow. So the direction of both the fluids motions are same. So this kind of arrangement is called as parallel flow heat exchanger. Counter flow. So in counter flow, both the fluids are moving in opposite directions. You can observe in this figure that hot fluids is moving from left to right and cold fluids are moving from right to left. So this kind of arrangement is called as counter flow heat exchanger. And third, in cross flow heat exchanger, the two fluids, hot fluids and cold fluids, cross one another in the space. Let me discuss with the diagram. So here both the fluids, one is moving from top to bottom and another is moving from left to right. So both are crosses each other at a right angle. In this figure, it is crossed but it is not at right angle. So as per the definitions of cross flow, the hot fluids and cold fluids means both the fluids are cross each other in the space. So this is the cross flow. Third types of classifications under the criteria of relative motions of fluid. Third classifications, that is design and constructional feature. So based on the design and constructional feature, we can classify the heat exchanger into the four different categories. First is concentric tube type of heat exchanger. second is cell and tube, third is multiple cell and tube passes, and fourth is compact heat exchanger. So let we understand all the four using some standard schematic diagrams. So first, concentric tube, the meaning is there is two tubes are there which is placed at concentric. The center of both the tubes remains in same line. In one the hot fluids are moving, in another one is cold fluids are moving. So this kind of arrangement of concentric tube for passing the hot and cold fluids are called as a concentric tube types of heat exchanger. Cell and tube heat exchanger, there is one type of cell and the tubes arrangement are given. So one fluid is moving on cell side, another fluid is moving inside the tubes, and this tube is separating the two fluids, and this kind of arrangement is called a cell and tube kind of the heat exchanger. In here there are various parts is there. This is a tube side inlet, this is a tube side outlet, then cell side inlet, cell side outlet, and here some of the plates are given, and these plates are known as a buffalo plates, which is used to support the tubes at different intervals. Then the third is compact type of heat exchanger. Compact type of heat exchangers are to accommodate the larger amount of heat flow from the smaller, and generally the heat sink are this example of compact type of heat exchangers. And we discuss next is the multiple cell and the multiple tube passes. So in first, the fluid is moving inside the tube which is passing through the twice from the cell side. So this is called as a two pass of the tube side. And here multiple cell means the fluid is enter from here, it is moving in right to left, then again left to right, and then again enters in a second cell. So here there is a two cell, and in each cell the fluid is passing twice, so it is called as a two cell four pass type of heat exchanger. So this kind of arrangement is called as a multiple tube and multiple cell pass type of heat exchanger. Now we are going for classification according to criteria number 4. So criteria 4 is the physical state of fluids. So based on the physical state of fluid, we can classify the heat exchanger into two categories. One is condenser and second is evaporators. In condenser, the condensing fluid remains at constant temperature throughout the heat exchanger, while the temperature of colder fluids gradually increases. So from the graph we can understand that here the condensing fluid temperature remains constant throughout the heat exchanger, while the temperature of cold fluid increases as it is gradually passed through the heat exchanger. And second is evaporator. So in evaporator, the cold fluid remains at constant temperature, while the temperature of hot fluid gradually decreases. So we can understand cold fluid temperature remains a constant, where the hot fluid temperature gradually decreases as the hot fluids progress in the length of heat exchanger. So now we summarize all the criteria for classification of heat exchanger. Now we summarize the whole classifications of heat exchanger. So heat exchanger classified based on the 4 different criteria. So first criteria is the nature of heat exchange process. So according to this criteria, we have two types of heat exchanger, direct and indirect contact type of heat exchanger. In indirect contact type of heat exchanger, another two types is the regenerator and recuperators. Then second classification is relative directions of fluid motions. So based on this criteria, we can classify the heat exchanger in 3 categories: parallel flow, counter flow, and cross flow. The third criteria is design and constructional features. So based on this criteria, we can classify the heat exchanger in 4 categories. First is concentric tube types of heat exchanger, cell and tube heat exchanger, multi-cell and tube passes heat exchanger, and compact heat exchanger. Fourth and last criteria for the classification of heat exchanger is based on physical state of fluid. So based on this criteria, we can classify the heat exchanger into 2 categories: condenser and evaporator. So with this, I hope that after attending this video lecture, you will be able to define the heat exchanger and classified the various kind of heat exchanger according to different criteria. So thank you for attending this video lecture.